eagerly awaited event of the year, the College Day and Award Ceremony of Kasturba Medical College, Mangalore. Our esteemed dignitaries are on their way. Please give us a couple of minutes. Please bear with us. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We welcome each one of you for the most eagerly awaited event of the year, the College Day and Award Ceremony of Kasturba Medical College, Mangalore. Our esteemed dignitaries have just arrived. Please welcome them with a huge round of applause as they walk down the aisle. We have with us today a few of the most distinguished guests who have consented to grace this function with their valuable presence. The chief guest, Professor C.R. Ballal, accompanied by the guests of honor, Dr. Lieutenant General M.D. Venkatesh, the Vice Chancellor, Dr. Dilip G. Nayak, Pro Vice Chancellor, Dr. M. Venkatraya Prabhu, the Pro Vice Chancellor, Faculty of Health Sciences, Manipal, Dr. B. Unnikrishnan, the Dean, KMC Mangalore, Dr. Shrikala Baliga, the Associate Dean, KMC Mangalore, Dr. Pramod Kumar, the Associate Dean, KMC Mangalore, and Dr. Suresh Shetty, the Associate Dean, KMC Mangalore. Please welcome them with a huge round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Respected dignitaries, esteemed faculty, prized awardees, honorable guests, well-wishers, ladies and gentlemen. It gives me immense joy to welcome you all to the highly awaited event of the year, the College Day and Award Ceremony of Kasturba Medical College, Mangalore 2022. We have gathered here on this beautiful evening to mark a very special event to recognize and celebrate the extraordinary talent and achievements of members of our very own KMC family. I, Dr. Santosh Rai,
and I, Dr. Cheryl Joshua,
feel utmost privileged at hosting today's solemn and stately ceremony.
The Kasturba Medical College, Mangalore, a constituent unit of Manipal Academy of Higher Education, Manipal, was established in 1953. Since its inception, it has distinguished itself as one of the premier centers of learning, imparting the finest education to budding doctors. At KMC, we believe in setting ourselves apart by the guiding and exemplary ethos of our founder that is engraved in our hearts. It is befitting that we received national and international recognition for our endeavors. Our organization was accorded the status of Institute of Eminence, a well-deserved acknowledgement of efforts of all its members. Today, we shall be celebrating the talented students and faculty of our prestigious institute.
Leadership is the ability to guide others without force into a direction or decision that leaves them still feeling empowered and accomplished. We are privileged to be led by such a formidable leadership who continue to inspire us to be better versions of ourselves and strive dedicatedly towards a higher goal. A hearty welcome to all of you, dear sirs and madam. We request our Honorable Dean, Dr. B. Unnikrishnan, and the Associate Deans, Dr. Shrikala Baliga, Dr. Pramod Kumar, and Dr. Suresh Shetty, to escort our eminent dignitaries to occupy their seats on stage. We appreciate the presence of our most distinguished guests and are delighted to have you grace the stage today. The chief guest, Professor C.R. Ballal. Accompanied by the guest of honor, Dr. Lieutenant General M.D. Venkatesh, the Vice Chancellor of MAHE, Dr. Dilip G. Nayak, the Pro Vice Chancellor of MAHE, Mangalore campus, Dr. M. Venkatraya Prabhu, the Pro Vice Chancellor, Faculty of Health Sciences, MAHE, Manipal. Please welcome them all with a huge round of applause.
Thomas Merton reminds us that every breath we draw is a gift of God's love. Every moment of existence is a grace. By cultivating the habit of being grateful for every good thing that comes from above, helps us to draw upon renewed hope and joy in our everyday life and experience life's little miracles. This year too, we are reminded of the showers of blessings around us and for the very gift of life itself that far overshadows any hardship and turmoil that the past few years have seeded. We reverentially invoke the blessings of the Almighty and pray that our humble petitions may be acceptable to His grace. We request Ms. Sneha, medical undergraduate student, to lead us in prayer. I request the audience to remain seated.
विघ्नेशं प्रमदाधिपं गणपतिं एकदन्तादिदेवं सिद्धीशं परशुधरं शिवसुतं विद्याप्रदं मङ्गलं सिन्धुराङ्गं त्रिनेत्रं लम्बोदरं दूर्वादळामोदितं हेरम्बं वक्रतुण्डं वरदाभयं गौरीपुत्रं नमामि नमामि नमामि.
Thank you, Ms. Sneha, for that exquisite and graceful rendition. In the words of Sheryl Sandberg, I quote, "Leadership is about making others better as a result of your presence and making sure that the impact lasts in your absence." No one epitomizes this truth better than our most eminent late founder, Dr. T.M.A. whose lasting legacy runs through the veins of this mighty organization and fills each one of us with pride as we look at how far we have come. We humbly request our dignitaries to light the lamp that symbolizes the conquering of darkness and illumination of our hearts with truth and knowledge, after which they may proceed towards offering their floral tribute to our late founder, Dr. T.M.A.
you, sirs and madam. Leadership is not about a title or a designation. It's about impact, influence, and inspiration. We are indeed overjoyed to have with us such an exemplary person who holds the capacity to transform our late founder's dream into a vision and galvanizes us all into action. It is with pride and joy that I welcome our beloved Dean, who will be welcoming this august gathering and shall be presenting a brief report of the year gone by. We invite Dr. B. Unnikrishnan, Dean, KMC Mangalore, to the podium to present the college report.
Respected dignitaries on and off the dais, good evening and warm greetings to all of you. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of Kasturba Medical College, Mangalore, I feel very privileged and honored to welcome our distinguished chief guest, Dr. C.R. Ballal. Dr. Chittapadi Ramakrishna Ballal, Professor and former HOD, Department of Surgery, Kasturba Medical College, Mangalore. We are grateful to sir for accepting our invitation and gracing this occasion. Our chief guest doesn't require an introduction as he is a well-recognized figure known for his wonderful administration and high achievements during his stint at KMC Mangalore. He has molded the life of students and served people with kindness. I heartily welcome you, sir. I request the Vice Chancellor to hand over the bouquet to our chief guest, Dr. C.R. Ballal. Dr. H.S. Ballal, Pro-Chancellor MAHE, Manipal. Sir has always been the guiding force behind all our endeavors at Mangalore campus. Because of unavoidable situation, he is not able to attend today's function. I heartily welcome Lieutenant General Dr. M.D. Venkatesh, Vice Chancellor MAHE Manipal. Under his stewardship, we have witnessed a lot of infrastructural improvement at Mangalore campus. A warm welcome to Dr. Dilip G. Naik and Dr. M. Venkatraya Prabhu, Pro-Vice Chancellors, MAHE, Manipal. A warm welcome to Dr. Sharat Rao, the Dean of KMC, Manipal. Dr. V. Surendra Shetty, sir, the former Pro-Vice Chancellor, Mangalore campus. Dr. Avinash Shetty, the MS of Kasturba Hospital, Manipal. Dr. Krishnananda Prabhu, the Associate Dean of KMC, Manipal. All the Manipal Academy of Higher Education officials, head of institutions, former deans and principals of KMC, invitees, students, parents, ladies and gentlemen, and members of press and electronic media. I am extremely happy to welcome you all to this pleasant function. KMC Mangalore has completed 68 successful years. To celebrate this happy occasion and to recognize those who have contributed towards this achievement, we have gathered here to observe our College Day and awards ceremony. We are celebrating our College Day after 2 years. During the COVID pandemic, KMC remained steadfast in its mission to protect and improve human health. As COVID-19 transformed how we teach, learn and work, a silver lining emerged. We witnessed an extraordinary spirit of collaboration. As the world faced the unprecedented crisis of COVID-19, it has been our doctors, nurses and healthcare workers who have cemented their position as the foremost champions of humanity, saving humanity as it was staring at an existential crisis. I salute their courage, valor and selflessness in serving the society. No words are enough to express our gratitude towards all the corona warriors who rose to the occasion, risking their own lives to save the lives of others. Now I will briefly present the college report of the activities which were carried from January to December 2021. Consistently, our college has been ranked by various agencies as one of the best medical colleges in our country. The NIRF ranking, we got 23rd, the best medical college in the country for the year 2021. Recently, our teaching hospital, KMC Hospital, Attawar, has been accredited by NABH. Our labs are already accredited by NABL and we are also ISO accredited. I took over as Dean of KMC Mangalore from our illustrious predecessor, Dr. M. Venkatraya Prabhu, on 1st of January 2022. Dr. M.V. Prabhu has been elevated as the Pro-Vice Chancellor at MAHE. We have around 2,500 students in our college in different streams, MBBS. We run MD/MS program in 20 different specialities. We run MSc medical program in 5 disciplines. We have medical PhD. We have allied health undergraduate program in 7 disciplines. And also we have allied health postgraduate program in 4 disciplines. And also we have PhD in allied health. We started our first MBBS classes from 14th of February 2022 as per the NMC mandate. And we had the white coat ceremony, orientation program and Charaka Shapath on 20th February 2022. Interns program, orientation program was held on the same day on 20th February 2022. In the last 2 years of pandemic, we were actively engaged in providing preventive, promotive, curative and rehabilitative healthcare services to the community. We have upgraded our diagnostic facility for COVID-19 as per ICMR guidelines and we had set up the lab and we had totally done the test around more than 1,39,000 tests we have conducted for COVID. Also we had mass vaccination drive at Marina where we administered both vaccine, Covaxin and Covishield. Our total vaccine doses administered were around more than 1,23,000. Here I need to acknowledge the university for having come forward to provide vaccination free of cost to all the staff and their family members and students. We have also provided treatment and healthcare services in our teaching hospitals, both at Government Venlock Hospital as well as KMC Hospital, Attawar, where we treated more than 4,000 patients who were moderate to severe COVID-19 in Government Venlock Hospital and more than 1,300 patients in our Attawar Hospital. It is important to note that our healthcare workers were providing maternal care round the clock during the pandemic as the statistics above shows. When other hospitals were shunting the patients, we were regularly conducting deliveries in the last 2 years and we have conducted around COVID positive deliveries. 763 COVID positive deliveries were conducted at Government Lady Goshen Hospital as well as KMC Hospital Attawar. We also were involved in community activities where we had undergone isolation, quarantine, diagnostic facilities. We covered around 11,000 houses, population screened around 48,000. We did the antigen testing among more than 700 people and RT-PCR testing was done among more than 1,200 people. We were also actively involved with Government of Karnataka as well as NIMHANS Bangalore for the rapid report when the COVID-19 started. We were involved with the government for the rapid appraisal of preparedness and performance of health system in managing COVID-19 cases in Karnataka. We also had a lot of COVID-19 related publications. Our faculty have published more than 40 publications related to COVID-19. But here I want to state that we also had a lot of policy publication related to COVID-19. Research achievement in the year 2021. Total number of papers published were 365 in Scopus Index Journal. Our faculties published around 5 books and various faculties contributed 18 chapters in textbooks. When I talk about the trends in publication, we are showing an increasing trend in publication. In 2020, when we reach not only increase in the trend of publication, even the quality of publication. In the year 2021, 47% of our publication were in Q1 and Q2 journals. We have a total H index of 69 with a citation more than 45,000. This data has been taken from Scopus official website. Majority of our publications were linked to the 11 of the 17 Sustainable Development Goals of UN. This happened because many of our faculties are active global burden of disease collaborators of Institute of Health Metrics and Evaluation of University of Washington, which led to publication in very high impact factor journal like the Lancet group of journal, BMG group of journal, Nature group of journal, and JAMA group of journals. We have received extramural research grant from various funding agencies of more than 1 crore. These are the few grants which I'll be talking about. We have a hospital-based cancer registry funded by ICMR. We got extension for next 5 more years because they believed us and they extended the grant for next 5 more years. Dr. Aravidai Nambi got a grant for the technique to optimize perception of spatial cues and spatial release from masking, ICMR funded project. Dr. Ramesh Holla again got an ICMR funded project for the incentives to pregnant mothers during antenatal care for better maternal and neonatal outcome. Actually, this is a systematic review and meta-analysis grant. Dr. Gagan Bajaj received a grant from DST on the topic multi-sensory, customized cognitive communicative well-being program for middle-aged adults. Dr. Jayashree Bhatt again got a grant from DST, pranayama and voice-related quality of life of teachers. An affordable therapeutic solution for rehabilitation of cerebral palsy children with crouch gait. It is a collaborative grant which I will be talking to you little later, funded by SERP and DST. It has a potential for innovation. Dr. Vibha got a grant from ICMR, the contribution of envelope cues for the perception of inter-oral time differences among young adults. We have received industry grant also. Dr. Shikala Baliga received Pfizer grant for developing an antimicrobial stewardship program at KMC Mangalore. Dr. Somashekar got a grant from NCRT for the efficacy of phonological awareness kit in reading development during foundation stage. Innovations. We are also involved in innovation. One of our students, Dr. Shagun Tuli, was part of a interdisciplinary team to develop Smart Pillow Integrated Network, which is funded by Tata Social Enterprises Challenge. Even our postgraduate were selected as finalists in the MAHE Innovation Festival 2021 conducted at Manipal for their project titled Surgical Simulation for Postgraduate Training. This is the grant which has a potential for innovations at affordable therapeutic solution for rehabilitation of cerebral palsy children with crouch gait. It is a collaborative research project between Kasturba Medical College, Mangalore, National Institute of Technology, Karnataka, Surathkal, and Indian Institute of Technology, Goa, which is funded by Science and Engineering Research Board of Department of Science and Technology, Government of India. 4 research scholars and faculties were awarded PhDs in the year 2021. Dr. Rupesh Pujari from the Department of Physiology, Dr. Malavika A from the Department of Audiology, Dr. Durga Rao from the Department of Biochemistry, and Rakshita Maskeri from the Department of Pharmacology. Student publication. KMC Mangalore was the pioneer in incorporating research into medical education curriculum, which we started 15 years back. And that resulted in 160 publications in the year 2020 and 2021. Out of that, majority were undergraduate publication, 115, postgraduate publication, 31, PhD scholar publication, 40. I will just mention a few publications. In that, one of the publication is the publication of the granddaughter of our chief guest. Vaishnavi Ballal is the first author in one of the publication, which is in a high impact factor journal. Many of the faculties members have authored many textbooks. Like for example, Dr. Archit Bolur is the editor for the most prestigious, the Washington Manual of Medical Therapeutics. He also authored a book on exam preparatory manual for undergraduate. Dr. Sita Rama Rao authored a book on A Guide to Musculoskeletal Injuries, and Dr. Sudhin Karupalli co-authored a book on Assessment of Language Development. All the departments had conducted one or more than one CME, workshops or another training program. I will just list whether it was conducted in an offline mode or online mode, but it was conducted. I will just list a few of the departments' activities. Department of Microbiology conducted the annual 9th Dr. N.C. Anandakrishna Endowment Oration. The oration was delivered by Dr. Kishore G. Bhatt on the theme Oral Microbiome and Infection, Revisiting the Fundamentals. Department of Community Medicine had the second Dr. B.S. Sajjan Endowment Oration on Planning for Pandemics, Lesson Learned from COVID-19. The oration was delivered by Lieutenant General Ashok Jindal, AVSM, YSM, Director and Commandant, Army Hospital, Research and Referral, Delhi. Department of Psychiatry organized an event, Women and Mental Health, on account of International Women's Day. Department of Pediatrics organized International Childhood Cancer Day at KMC Hospital, Attawar. Department of Surgery conducted one workshop on acute critical care course and a CME on hernia. Dhwani, a newborn hearing assessment center, a MAHE and Pi Family Foundation initiative. The center is located at Lady Goshen Hospital. The center, along with conducting screening, takes care of the rehabilitation of children who require cochlear implant and belonging to financially less privileged families. Department of Radiology conducted a CME by Dr. Shyam Kumar and Keshava, Professor and Head Department of Interventional Radiology, Christian Medical College, Vellore. Department of Physiotherapy conducted a workshop on physiotherapy in pelvic floor dysfunction by Dr. Srivani Swaminathan of Northwestern Medicine Hospital, USA. Department of Medicine conducted annual South Zone Postgraduate Medicine Quiz in fond memory of late Dr. Sita Mahalakshmi. As a CSR initiative of Karnataka Bank, Zeiss surgical microscope was donated to Department of Ophthalmology, Government Wellock Hospital. Recently, we had a consultation meeting on urban health challenges by advisors to Niti Aayog. They had visited Mangalore. They had a consultation because Bangalore is one of the cities adopted for urban health challenge theme. Alumni, many activities were organized for alumni, and alumni has contributed financially as well as non-financially also. Department of Biochemistry organized a virtual CME, and one of the keynote speakers were our alumni, Dr. Surya Narayana Varamballi, Professor of Pathology and Senior Scientist, O'Neill Comprehensive Cancer Center, University of Alabama. Another alumni, Dr. Puneet Khalra, gave a guest lecture on bioethics in autism, organized by the student wings of bioethics. Dr. Pangal Sitaram Naik, an orthopedic surgeon, a 1957 batch alumnus of KMC Manipal and Mangalore, was felicitated by Kasturba Medical College, Mangalore. Infrastructural developments. The Ganahoma of the Central Lab at Attawar was performed. This state-of-the-art lab has fully integrated automated track system by Roche, which is one of the 5 installations in the country, and I am proud of it. Durga Sanjeevani Manipal Hospital, Katil, one of the finest rural health center, is a 100-bedded rural collaborative hospital between MAHE, Sanjeevani Trust and Sri Durga Parmeshwari Temple Trust, Katil. Newly renovated smart classroom to accommodate 300 students dedicated to Dr. G.D. Velliyat, former principal, KMC Mangalore. And I thank our Vice Chancellor for initiating this. State-of-the-art SIM lab located at KMC Hospital, Attawar, has more than 200 mannequins worth about 2 crore for hands-on skill development. Government Wenlock Hospital medicine ward were inaugurated and all the medicine wards were named after our former heads of the Department of Medicine at Kasturba Medical College, Mangalore. Golden Jubilee celebration of Mangalore Medical Relief Society was held on 27 November 2021 and chief guest for this function was Dharmadhikari Dr. D. Virendra Hegade and guest of honor was Dr. H.S. Ballal, Pro-Chancellor MAHE Manipal. Independence Day celebration, Dr. Pramod Kumar was the chief guest. Republic Day celebration, Dr. Shikala Baliga was the chief guest. Faculty achievements, my predecessor, presently the Pro Vice Chancellor Health Sciences, Dr. M.V. Prabhu, former Dean KMC Mangalore, felicitated by IMA Karnataka State Branch. He delivered Professor Dr. Nanjundaya Memorial Association oration at the 87th IMA Karnataka State Annual Medical Conference, Medicon 2021 at Bellary. Non-Teaching Staff Excellence Award instituted by Dr. K.R. Shetty and MAHE. Every year we select 3 best performing non-teaching staff, one from the college, one from the Tower Hospital, one from the Ambedkar Circle Hospital. From the college, Mrs. Bhanukala Uday, Senior Executive, Admin and Operation KMC Mangalore, got that award. From KMC Hospital, Attawar, Mrs. Lizzie Pinto, ward sister, got the award. And from KMC Hospital, Ambedkar Circle, Mrs. Chitra KP got that award. Each award consists of 50,000 rupees every year. Our faculties participated in variety entertainment program at Utsav Light 2022 and we bagged the 3rd prize in staff variety program. We also organized a Marina Mangalore Cricket Club between the Pro-Chancellor's team and Vice Chancellor's team and eventually the Vice Chancellor team won the cup. Students' achievement. At the 29th E-Convocation held at Manipal, Dr. Jan Mendoza was awarded the Best Outgoing Student from KMC Mangalore. When Utsav was held last in 2019, we were the winners of Utsav. In 2020 and 2021, Utsav was not held. When again it was held on 2022 Utsav Light, we got the first runner-up. We have a very vibrant and active student council, 2021 and 2022 batch. And this was the investiture ceremony of student council and the sports prize distribution of 2021 and 2022 batch. And the chief guest was Dr. Srikanth, an anesthetist of repute. As also a cricketer who has played Rohinton Bari and other important events. We have a biannual e-newsletter epistle, and the second issue was released by Dr. Dilip G. Nayak, the Pro Vice Chancellor, Mangalore campus. We pay our homage to our founder, Dr. T.M.A. Pai, and we celebrated Founders Day at MAHE Mangalore campus. My dear friends, we get the unstinted support of our respected Chancellor, Dr. Ramdas M. Pai, Mrs. Vasanti R. Pai, Dr. Ranjan Pai, Chairman, Manipal Education and Medical Group, our Pro-Chancellor, Dr. H.S. Ballal, Vice Chancellor, Lieutenant General Dr. M.D. Venkatesh, Pro-Vice Chancellor, Dr. P.L.N.G. Rao, Dr. Dilip G. Nayak, Dr. M. Venkatray Prabhu, our Registrar, Dr. Narayan Sabahit, and all the other university officials. We remain grateful for their committed cooperation and tremendous support all through the year. I acknowledge the contribution of all other MAHE officials, Dr. Vinod Thomas, Registrar Evaluation, Dr. Satish Rao, BS, Director of Research, Dr. Geeta Maya, Director of Student Affairs, Captain Baliappa, Director of Projects, Colonel Prakash Chandra, Director of General Services, Dr. Sandeep Shinoy, Director of Compliance, Dr. Christopher Sudhakar, Director of Quality, and Mr. Rangarajan V, Director of Finance. I must also place on record the support rendered by Medical Superintendent of KMC Hospital, Attawad, Dr. John T. Ramapuram, and Medical Superintendent of KMC Hospital, Ambedkar Circle, Dr. Anand Venugopal. And the Dean of MCOTS Mangalore, Dr. Ashita Upur, and Associate Deans, Dr. Premlata Shetty and Dr. Junaid Ahmed. The District Surgeon, Dr. Sadashiv Shanbag, DMO of District Venlock Hospital, and Dr. Durga Prasad MR, Medical Superintendent of Lady Goshen Hospital. All this and much more took place in the year under review. Things happened entirely because of the teamwork and team spirit which exists at KMC Mangalore. I feel extremely happy to acknowledge the support I received from Associate Deans Dr. Suresh Shetty, Dr. Pramod Kumar, and Dr. Shrikala Baliga. I wish to thank Deputy Director of Quality and Compliance, Dr. Mangala Pai, Deputy Director of Student Affairs, Dr. Aarti Rao, Associate Director of Alumni Relations, Dr. Kiran Baliga. I acknowledge the HODs and faculty members of KMC Mangalore, Chief Warden Colonel Prem Kumar Shetty, all the hostel wardens and managers, office staff and section heads. Mr. Harish Shenoy, Deputy General Manager Quest, Chief Security Officer Mr. Harish Chandra, Finance Executive Ms. Madhumati, In Charge Management Executive Mr. Dharmendra, Mrs. Sukanya Kumari, Lead Tech Support Executive, Senior Executive Mr. Satish Shetty K, Mrs. Bhanukala Uday, Senior Executive Admin and Operation, Senior Hostel Finance Executive Mrs. Hemavati Bhandari, Senior Purchase Executive Mr. Yashwant, System Executive Mr. Arvind Prakash Miranda, and all the office staff of my secretariat and staff of Quest Corp Limited and Telematic Biomedical Services Private Limited, who have given me admirable support. I conclude my brief talk by reiterating our commitment to the values cherished by your prestigious institution and paying my tribute to our respected founder, late Dr. T.M.A. Pai. Please have a pleasant evening. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for the welcome address, the detailed college report, and those inspiring words. We are honored to have an exemplary person with us today who is honoring us with his presence at this momentous event. Professor Dr. C.R. Ballal, who has led an illustrious career and has donned several hats in his exemplary career, that of a skilled surgeon, an astute administrator, a beloved teacher, and an outstanding alumnus of KMC Mangalore. To introduce our chief guest, we have the most suitable person, one who is highly accomplished herself, who believes in leading by example, Dr. Shrikala Baliga, the Associate Dean of KMC Mangalore. We request Madam to introduce Dr. C.R. Ballal to the audience.
Dr. Chitpadi Ramakrishna Ballal was born on 6th May 1937 as the eldest son of Sri C. Raya Ballal and Srimati Sarojini Ballal. He studied in Christian High School, Udupi, and completed his intermediate at St. Aloysius College, Mangalore. Dr. C.R. Ballal joined Kasturba Medical College, Manipal on 15th of June 1955 as a student of the third batch and joined the clinical section at Kasturba Medical College, Mangalore on the 1st of January 1957. He has the distinction of being the first rank holder in all 3 years, first MBBS, second MBBS, and third MBBS in Karnataka University. He was the recipient of the prestigious Dr. T.M.A. Gold Medal for the best outgoing student of the college for the year 1960. Dr. C.R. Ballal joined MS General Surgery, being in the first batch of postgraduates of the college in March 1962. He has thus the distinction of being the first person to complete both undergraduate and postgraduate studies within the state. He began his career in Kasturba Medical College, Mangalore as a reader in the Department of Surgery in May 1964 and was subsequently promoted as Associate Professor in 1969 and Professor in 1978. Dr. Ballal became Head of Department and Director of Postgraduate Studies in 1985 and continued till 1992. He continued his tenure with Kasturba Medical College, Mangalore as Professor of Surgery till 1997 and thereafter as Honorary Professor till December 1998. Dr. C.R. Ballal joined K.S. Hegde Medical Academy as Professor in December 1998 and continued to work as Professor Emeritus till May 2015. Dr. Ballal was conferred the Honorary Fellowship of the Royal College of Physicians and Surgeons, Glasgow, in February 2018. Dr. C.R. Ballal has been a teacher of teachers with his vast and expansive innings in surgery. His legacy can be judged by the fact that a new ward at Narayana Health Hospital, Bengaluru, has been named as Dr. C.R. Ballal Ward by his student and our alumni, Dr. Devi Prasad Shetty, Chairman, Narayana Health, as a mark of respect, admiration, and reverence. He has been an invited speaker in numerous CME programs and conferences. He has delivered many prestigious orations like Dr. H.S. Bhatt Memorial Oration, Dr. M.P. Pai Memorial Oration, Dr. B.N. Balakrishna Rao Memorial Oration, and the first Manipal Oration. He was past chairman of the Karnataka State Chapter of Association of Surgeons of India. He was a recipient of Dr. R.H.N. Shenoy Memorial Award for Surgical Excellence. For all his accomplishments, he has been conferred with the highest award a surgeon can aspire for in this country, the Lifetime Achievement Award for the year 2020 by the Association of Surgeons of India. Dr. Ballal is a voracious reader and author to several books, both surgical and non-fiction books. Autobiography of a Surgeon is a must-read for all surgeons, where he describes the 8 decades of his life, describing the pinnacle of success and the depths of sorrow. Playing cricket and promotion of classical Carnatic music are his other hobbies. Dr. C.R. Ballal and his family have another unique distinction. They are a 3-generation of alumni in the same family. Son, Dr. Rajesh Ballal, completed his undergraduate and postgraduate studies at Kasturba Medical College, Mangalore, and is at present a professor of surgery at Kasturba Medical College, Mangalore. And Dr. Vaishnavi Ballal, his granddaughter, is currently pursuing internship in Kasturba Medical College, Mangalore. Today, we at Kasturba Medical College, Mangalore deem it an honor and privilege to present to you and welcome one of our most famous and accomplished, yet humble alumnus, Dr. Chitpadi Ramakrishna Ballal.
Thank you, Madam, for eloquently putting to words Dr. C.R. Ballal's myriad achievements. In order to celebrate his achievements as well as to honor his commitment, dedication and service towards the KMC organization, we joyously desire to felicitate Sir and request our esteemed dignitaries to do the honor of felicitating Dr. C.R. Ballal. I request Dr. Kiran Baliga, the Associate Director of Alumni Relations, to deliver the citation prior to the felicitation.
Dear Sir, today on the College Day and the award ceremony of Kasturba Medical College, Mangalore, it's our honor and pleasure to felicitate you. As an eminent surgeon and an academician with decades of dedicated teaching in general surgery and as an efficient administrator in several capacities in our college, You have been largely responsible for the reputation your alma mater enjoys today. Your passion and zeal for teaching generations of students have laid the foundation on which the college has attained its legacy. Your untiring efforts have helped our alumni reach positions of eminence, bringing name and fame to a great institution. The mark that you have made in the national level as a surgeon is a matter of pride for all of us. On behalf of the students and the staff, I would like to thank you for being in our midst this day, the 13th of May 2022, for receiving this tribute from your alma mater. We are grateful for your immense contribution to the institution with your valuable time and relentless energy. 13th May 2022, Dean, Kasturba Medical College, Mangalore.
Can I now request our esteemed dignitaries to do the honor of felicitating Dr. C.R. Ballal.
A heartfelt gratitude to all the dignitaries for performing the solemn duty and participating in the felicitation ceremony. Having perceived the towering legacy of our most distinguished chief guest, we are confident that the audience are eager to listen to the stalwart himself. I humbly request our chief guest, Dr. C.R. Ballal, to grace us with a few precious words and thoughts on this landmark event.
Very respected Vice Chancellor, Lieutenant Colonel Dr. M.D. Venkatesh, the Pro-Chancellors, Dr. Dilip Naik and our Venkat Rai Prabhu, Dean, Dr. Unikrishnan, Associate Deans on my right and left, respected members of the staff, non-teaching staff, special invitees, parents if there are any, and my dear students. I'll take 2 minutes standing, then permit me to sit and continue with my presentation. I never thought a day will come where I'll be able to stand before you in this fashion and be honored in this way. It's just God's blessing. I put my title as Reminiscences and would like your indulgence that I'll sit and continue with my presentation. At the outset, I would like to, am I audible? At the outset, I would like to congratulate all those. Your report was wonderful. The research activities were actually unknown during our days, and nearly 75% of the time was devoted to research activities, which is an eye-opener for an ex-former student of KMC, because at that time we were attached to Unlock Hospital, and due apologies, the chances for research were much less, and today I'm indeed very, very happy that so much of research activity, because that was what was lacking. We had brilliant students, we had very good teachers, but maybe research was at a backstage. Today, every student, that's something very, very happy to note. Not only the staff, even the students are involved in so much research activity. I'm sure KMC will rise higher even in the research scale. At the outset, I would like to thank two of one is sitting on my left and the other gentleman a little far away, who are responsible for my presence here. Venkatraya Prabhu last June contacted me and said, "Sir, you must come because your own granddaughter is getting the gold medal." And again in October, he was kind enough to come home and visit me and extend the invitation. I'm very, very grateful to them. Today's presentation consists of two parts. The first part is my own journey, which of course pales into insignificance when I talk about the KMC, how it has developed over the past 6 decades. I would like to remind you, especially youngsters, that my story is of the 20th century and not of the present century. Because I retired from this college in 1998, and a lot of water has flowed down river Netravati from those days. Let me start. Now what? This one. Sorry. I start my presentation with paying my respects and prayers to our Kula Devata. She is Durga Parameshwari of Herga. Herga is the village which is next to Manipal, and I think it's her blessing that has given me enough mental and physical strength to be with you during these golden moments. I offer my prayers to the goddess Durga Parameshwari. Dr. T.M.A. Pai, but for whom I would not have been a doctor. I am honestly saying this from the bottom of my heart. If I am a doctor today, if I am a surgeon today, it's because of Dr. T.M.A. Pai. You will hear about him a little later. Professor M.P. Pai, who put me onto a surgical career. Much more importantly, he gave me an opportunity to serve my own alma mater for as long as 34 years. I am deeply indebted to him for this opportunity given to me. Ladies and gentlemen, let us go back to 30th of June 1953 when the college was inaugurated. The revered Swamiji of Sodemat inaugurated the college. But what impressed me that day, I was in Udupi, because I belong to Udupi, and I was in Udupi during holidays. More out of curiosity, I went to Manipal. It's a pouring rains, but Dr. T.M.A. Pai just mesmerized the audience. Most of them belonged to the first batch and their parents. Of course, quite of them were rather old by the present standards. But when I heard his speech, I came back. For the first time in my mind, I was wondering, is it worthwhile taking a medicine? Unlike these days, we people went through the mill without much of thinking about the future. I had completed my first year in intermediate, equal to PUC today. And after coming home, I was wondering, with the college so close by, why not take up medicine? And for me, all my relatives, including my dad, was very much agreeing with this decision. I must tell you, because my father studied law, ultimately became an engineer. So dare not interfere with his son, thinking about medicine and then telling him to do something else. So that speech probably was the first step in my approach. And at that time, there was only two other buildings. This building, I'm very happy to note, is still being retained. This was built as a tuberculosis sanatorium by Dr. T.M.A. Pai. Those days, the treatment of tuberculosis consisted only of fresh air and plenty of sunlight. The barren hills of Manipal provided plenty of sunlight and the purest air you could breathe during those days. When the college was started, it was converted into a library. And I was told that it's still being retained as a heritage hall behind the biochemistry department. I'm very happy about this. During our days, it functioned as a college library. And before I joined, the physiology block had already been inaugurated. Now, I was ready. 1954, I passed my intermediate. I got 100% marks in mathematics, which is not uncommon those days, and more than 90% physics and chemistry. And I thought I'll join the college in June 1954. But then problems arose. In May 1954, MCA passed a rule that unless you have completed biology during your intermediate, you're not eligible. You'll be suppressed here. Till then, students had passed, like me, maths, physics, chemistry, could get into medical college, and there used to be what's called as a pre-registration course of 6 months, during which time biology was taught, and then 4.5 years, total duration 5 years. That threw really a spanner into my plans. I didn't know what to do. And the only recourse was to complete biology. So reluctantly I went back to St. Lucius. Principal was surprised. Why have you come back, young man? So I said, I want to, what? Biology. I said, yes, sir. Why? Because to join medical course. So 1 year of biology went on. Happy time, watching enough cricket matches around because only one subject to learn. I passed in May 1955, results came out. I had very good marks. And my dad knew Dr. T.M.A. very well, and everything was set for my admission. And there was an interview. Of course, during the interview, due apologies to the interviewers, I was asked about tile factory and something else, nothing related. I was prepared with all my, why should you become a doctor? That question was never asked. Anyhow, interview was over, the list was to come, and then came the first list. Being B, I thought my name will be right on the top. And I saw a name, Ballal, correct, but Ratnaraja K, father of your present HOD, Priya. Dr. Pai was puzzled. Then he said, assured me, no, second list will surely contain your name. So with much more hopes, I went back. I found another Ballal, Raghush Chandra H, uncle of your present Pro-Chancellor, Dr. H.S. Ballal. So by that time, most of the seats were filled, but somehow I could manage to get myself admitted in third batch, and we were 3 Ballals. We were popular known as CR, HR, and KR. Of course, we had some other names, I won't mention it. Most of them thought we were related to each other. Later, we came to know that we belong to different castes. In fact, this prompted me to write a book called Brahmin Ballals of Dakshina Kannada about after I retired. Of course, later on, we lived like brothers. We were very close to each other, and we had practically lived like brothers. Of course, I would not spend much time on my Manipal 1.5 years course. Those days, biochemistry was part of physiology. There was no separate biochemistry paper. We had excellent teachers. I'll talk to them about them later. And only thing during the examination, I want to mention just 2 points. Irregular ECG, which a cardiologist will be proud of. But then help always came from these technicians who could draw the curve with their hand on a moving drum. And if the frog was alive, I'm sure the crowd would be proud of the curve drawn by those technicians. Examiners also were aware of this, but anyhow, we passed. As mentioned earlier, by God's grace, I got the first rank, came to Mangalore. And we didn't have a college building at that time. What you see now is a LIC. Those days we called it the Popular Insurance Company building. I belonged to the third batch, so by the time I came, the number of students was so large that an additional lecture hall was provided in Syndicate Bank building. So we had to run from KS Rao Road, Popular building, across a very busy bus stand, and especially in the rainy season, and rush up to Syndicate Bank for our classes. But it was worth it. And the government of Venlak Hospital, thanks to Mr. A.B. Shetty, was then the State Minister for Health, the surgical and medical blocks had been developed, and in between there was an old surgical ward. I have to come to that a little later, probably built when Tipu Sultan was ruling this part of the country. Anyhow, it was excellent. We had very good patient number, variety, excellent clinical support. And this was the OP block, which was, I think, somewhere in 1975, just before the emergency, further expansion. Of course, today you'll find so many more buildings. This is a new college. I'm happy to mention that in the year 2019, the college, under the leadership of Venkatraya Prabhu, celebrated the golden jubilee of this building. And I was called not only to be honored, also to speak. I'm very grateful for that act as far as the college is concerned. Got an opportunity to speak on the Golden Jubilee celebrations way back in 2019. As far as paraclinical studies, little different. We had only 3 exams, first MB, second MB, third MB. Second MB was consisted of pharmacology, pathology, microbiology, and forensic medicine. We had excellent teachers. I'll talk about them later. Plus postings in Mangalore Hospital. And by God's grace, again, I got the topmost rank, had good marks, and especially in forensic medicine. And when we come to the final year, I'm sure most of you would have that feeling. You have because when you're juniors, you'll be pushed out when for examining a patient. When you come to the final year, you have the best of chance. And each unit had only 3 to 4 students, so I had plenty of opportunity to present cases, examine patients as long as we want, and the numbers were plenty. I appeared for the final MB exam, passed, and I'm very happy. I was proud, probably one of my happiest moments in life, when I got the T.M.A gold medal, awarded to me by Dr. K.K. Hegde in the august presence of Dr. T.M.A. I still remember this took place at a function in Manipal, and I have still very fond memories of that particular occasion. I'm grateful that I was able to get. Before me, Dr. T.A. Koshi passed away recently, was the first gold medalist, and Dr. Mohan Bhakta, he migrated to Scotland, was the gold medal in the second year. After that, of course, I do not really remember. I moved on. What is that? Yes, I did my internship, and during internship, I would like to mention only one incident. I was posted in Professor Ganeshan's unit, and there's a boy of 12 who had undergone an investigation which is today not even found in your books, called pneumoencephalogram. For that, a spinal tap had to be done. Unfortunately, the spinal tap ended up with meningitis, and all of you are aware that hospital-acquired infections do not respond to any. In those days, we had only streptopenicillin, tetracycline, and sulfa, that's all. This boy, the organism was resistant. You know, in a young mind is a very idealistic mind. I went to the library, started searching, can we do something for this boy? I found a small news item in the BMJ that a company called Beacom Laboratories had invented a new drug called penbritain, which is very effective against a particular organism. In an aerogram, which is nothing but a overseas version of the inland letter, costing 6 rupees those days, I wrote a letter to the chairman of the company. My batch interns were all laughing at me. I say, that letter will be down the waste paper basket. You will be surprised to hear that within 8 days, the chairman of the company wrote to me that 32 vials of penbritain is being sent to you, and please let us know the result. I was in cloud 9, but I brought down terra firma next day. The customs department from Bangalore wrote me a strong letter why you should not be prosecuted criminally for the offense of importing a drug without a license. And it took 2 weeks, recommendation of the DMO and whatnot. And by that time, unfortunately, the patient passed away. But I mentioned this incident because this kind of care of the patient should be foremost in all the doctors. What we can do, how much we can help, should always be at your back of mind. I did my senior house surgency under Professor Pai, and the last week of December in 1961, he told me we are going to start PG course, and March 62, I joined. We are the first batch of postgraduates in the state. And you can see onto my right is K.R. Ballal, onto my left is Sheshadri, who is now leading a retired life in Bangalore. And in front row, of course, I'll talk about those teachers a little later. Passed the exam, passed the exam in March 64 and May 64. I was offered a job. As mentioned earlier, I climbed up the ladder. I worked till 1998. That the thing that struck me when I joined, I'm sure most of you go through this experience. I got a master's degree in surgery. We had taken some bedside clinics for undergraduates. In those days, Professor Pai insisted upon having an exam in a teaching session as the last part of the MS exam. But I had not taken a single theory lecture. So with a lot of trepidation in my mind, prepared overnight, and then went, and happy to say that the lecture went on well. And I must say this with due apologies, that probably many of us learned at the expense of students of the earlier batches, because we had absolutely no teaching experience in them. But I enjoyed my teaching. That finishes my journey through KMC. Of course, I went to KSECDA later on. I would now come back how KMC sort of developed over the last 60 decades. Please remember two things, last century and a personal perspective. I'm showing this picture. I want you to focus upon the bullock carts and the cycle. That was Manipal way back in 1956, a photo taken during the first ever medical exhibition held in this part of the country. And this is what Manipal is today. How did this change come out? I would call it a miracle. The person responsible for this, none other than Dr. T.M.A. I can talk hours about him, but the time constraints, two things stand out. Number one, he was a dreamer. He knew every obstruction to him was a challenge, right from affiliation of the college on to the development of the college. It was always a challenge, and he took it on boldly. It's often said that a structure brick by brick is a word used very often in the development of institutions. But for me, I have seen Dr. Pai with a walking stick, majestically walking towards a construction site and seeing that every brick is placed in the proper place. To him, it applies 100%. As I said earlier, he has multiple others, a banker, but he knew one important fact, that higher education in this country cannot be completely done by the government. Private initiative was necessary. And the concept of self-finance was first introduced in this country by Dr. T.M.A. Those days, you had to pay 3,000 rupees as donation, 1,000 rupees as the fees annually, and thanks to him, thousands of our own fellow Indians have become doctors. I again offer my respects to him, because but for him, I would not have been a doctor. The legacy continues because Dr. Pai passed away in 1979 for a short time. Mr. Ramesh Pai is maybe looking after. Dr. Amdas Pai is just 1 year senior to me. And under him, of course, the college developed much faster. Many more departments were developed. Specialities came into being, and Manipal Group spread its wings as far as Malacca, Nepal, and whatnot. And now we have, of course, Dr. Ranjan Pai, young, enthusiastic, bubbling with enthusiasm. And today, Manipal is a global hub. Anywhere in the world you talk of Manipal, they'll remember. And the crown jewel in the Manipal group of institutions happens to be Kasturba Medical College. All of us should be very proud of this fact that KMC is recognized as one of the best medical colleges in the country. And the entire credit goes to the Pai family. But then buildings do not make a college good. Dr. Pai, with his immense wisdom in initial stages, brought two groups of teachers. One, senior, rich with experience, well established with a reputation. Many names are there. Within the limited time, I'll talk a few names. On the other hand, he also brought youngsters who had just passed out from the college, practically gold medalists or top ranking. Let me start with Colonel Mangesh Rao. He was the first dean of the college. And the advantage we had was, under him, we learned more applied anatomy than pure anatomy because he was basically a surgeon. And then, of course, Dr. Kopika took over. And Kopika's unique distinction was to have three-dimension models to explain the three-dimensional anatomy. We didn't have all this virtual reality those days, and he was there with enough models, for example, rotation of the gut. I don't know how many students today learn rotation of the gut, even the postgraduates. Anyhow, for the rotation of the gut, he had a beautiful model, and within 5 minutes, we could understand how it gets rotated, how it goes back into the abdomen. It was a wonderful experience. I'll move to the next slide and then come. This is Dr. Godbole. If today you have an anatomy museum, which is probably the best in the world, you must thank this gentleman. Dr. Godbole spent most of his time in dissecting specimens. And I was telling my colleagues, even today if I'm asked to draw the brachial plexus, I still remember the colors he used to paint the roots and the trunks and the cords and the branches. It was that kind of anatomy we had to learn, and great teacher. Of course, his hobby was hunting, and he used to go to Someshwar to hunt, and one of my classmates used to accompany him. Ultimately, this gentleman is known as a hunter Pillai. I have to go back. I have to talk about Dr. Krishna Rao, who passed away recently. He had just passed his MSc in physiology, and his classes are wonderful. 62 years later, I can remember some certain neurological sciences to demonstrate, and his classes were really wonderful. I'm sure all of you are aware that he holds the record for being the dean of a medical college for the longest time in the whole country. Excellent teacher, and we always remember him. A lot of gratitude. I move on to Dr. D.D. Veliath, who was then the principal. We used to add on O in between G and D because he was such a kind person. God Veliath was he was usually called as. Only one incident. When we were part of Karnataka University, there is a rule that if you had failed 4 times, you had to leave the college and go out. When the affiliation moved out to Mysore, this rule was revoked. So many of my contemporaries, I would say, especially from Kerala, came back. They had gone out and came back. And once a student was a little worried about pathology. Of course, nobody is to fail in pathology practically. Due apologies to our pathology teachers here. Dr. Veliath was so kind. Even then, his classmates said, let us go and meet the principal. So both these gentlemen went into the principal chamber. Today is dean, those days principal. As soon as these people entered, Dr. Veliath got up, shook hands with this boy and said, I'll make sure that your son will pass with very good marks. Why? Because he had so much of gray hair. He thought the parent had come to meet him and not the student. It took a couple of minutes to sort of explain matters, and this boy did pass. That shows the immense kindness he had. And we can never forget, I'm very happy that a hall has been named after G.D. Veliath. He was really a God Veliath. I come down to Dr. M.P. Pai. He made me a surgeon. But, of course, we had a postgraduate department. But I remember him for one important reason. Those days, again, with due apologies to the surgeons of that era, most of the operations were done by the chief. Professor Pai was fond of mentioning a name which our Dean Manipal would know, Bowler. He was on those days, general surgeons used to do a lot of orthopedics. Bowler at the age of 80 would operate. His first assistant was 75 years, and he had not done a single operation independently. That was the norm those days. Professor M.P. Pai changed that with the help of Dr. Yogesh Pai and Dr. Srinivasan, what I call as liberalization. Somewhat what Manmohan Singh did decades later. But like the American system, graduate responsibility was given to postgraduates. And by the time you reach the final year, I'm proud to say that we could perform most of the major operations then being conducted in a hospital. It went to the extent that the T.M.A. one day called Dr. Pai and said, these are students. Suppose a complication is, what will happen? Dr. Pai assured him that we have trained them so well, we got so much of confidence in them. And of course, Dr. Yogeshwar will be sitting in the surgeon's room smoking his pipe and then keeping a watch. But most of the work was done by postgraduates. And I'm happy that all those who have passed out MS from KMC do have that generosity to train their students so that they come out as good, safe surgeons. This is something Dr. Pai started, and it's still being continued by the generations of surgeons who have passed out from the surgical department of KMC. Now, I have to talk about Professor M.A. Shetty. He was the first surgeon to start surgical nursing home in Mangalore. But he used to give spinal anesthesia himself. Probably is much better than many other anesthetists available. Even though he was giving spinal, he used to have Dr. Jayashil Punja, trained anesthetist, to keep a monitor over the patient. This is something I realized, that patient safety, which was not at all a concern those days. Dr. M.A. Shetty was so sort of interested in patient safety that he always used to have a trained anesthetist even for the most minor procedure. As you are aware, probably it took another 3 decades before patient safety became a part of the student curriculum. But he was doing it way back in the early 60s. And of course, Professor M. Srinivasan, he was my mentor, one of the most astute clinicians I have seen. His bedside clinics were, I think, many students would remember his bedside clinics. Was something, I still remember a case. These are pre-scan days where we had only clinical examination and some barium studies and IVP, nothing beyond that. They diagnosed a right adrenal tumor, which we were just impressed. Of course, those days, many cases were diagnosed only on laparotomy. And a system was followed that bet of 1 rupee. Of course, the money is to go to the poor patient's fund. And the professor also will bet 1 rupee. As far as my knowledge goes, only one student won that rupee note, and I'm told, along with his MS certificate, he has put this 1 rupee note also nicely mounted and framed. That was his clinical equipment. To me, he was my mentor. When I passed my MS, I worked with him for 4 years. The day I passed, I went and touched his feet. He said, "Ballal, I'm letting loose in society a safe surgeon." When I left at the end of 4 years, he made me a very competent surgeon. The only regret he had was that he could not get me to play contact bridge, because 3 times a week they used to play contact bridge. Despite his best efforts, I never bothered getting into contact bridge. That was the only regret. But when I moved on to DMO's unit, probably I was a very competent surgeon. Now we come to the last part, probably the most interesting part for you, the students. Buildings do make a college, teachers are there, but unless the students also are actually involved, you don't get this kind of success. And I'm happy to say that most students are really passionate about learning. They used to ask for extra classes. Sunday morning, Dr. D.S. Iyer used to take surgical pathology, no attendance taken, coffee and vada served at the end of the class, and the hall was full. That kind of passion I've seen in KMC. As a result, students coming to our KMC, 99.9% are good, excellent human beings, have made a name not only in the country, but also all over the globe. Some of the best cardiologists, surgeons, some of the best cardiologists. You talk of any specialty, you'll find KMC. In fact, my children would know this. Till I left KMC, I used to take a bet with my children. Wherever I go, I'll meet an old student. I'm happy to say, as far as west is New York, east is Kuala Lumpur, I have met my student. They'll come, "Sir, what are you doing here?" I have to ask the same question to them. This is something I'm proud of, that KMC has produced some of the best human beings as well as some of the best doctors in this country. And the credit goes to, as I said, the Pai family, as well as the teachers who have come down over the last 6 decades, who had only one thing: teach, and teach. And of course, this is, This is the last batch I took in KMC. You can see the young, handsome Shriram, but with a lot more hair on his head. Of course, he's become much wiser now. He's now the HOD. And this was the occasion when we celebrated the 50th year, Golden Jubilee of the postgraduates way back in 2013. You can see very young Prabhu on the photograph. And friends, I come to the last slide. Thank you. At the outset, I'd like to thank the God Almighty for blessing me with a granddaughter, loving, very competent Vaishnavi. May I ask Rajesh and Vasundhara, please stand up, please. Rajesh, wherever you are, Rajesh, and the proud parents, please stand up. Next, I would like to thank again Prabhu as well as Krishnan who are responsible for my presence here today. Third, a lot of this material from the presentation has come from our own former students, some incidentally, some intentionally. Anyhow, my presentation could succeed thanks to the lot of photographs I got from various places. And lastly, I'd like to thank each one of you because it is told that most human brains get switched off at the end of 20 minutes. Unless you are the caliber of Vivekananda or in those days I used to quote Manipal. I am sure most of you would not have heard him. But they are great speakers. But you have been very patient. I offer you a very sincere thank you. God bless you all. Have a beautiful future. Have a nice family. And be good citizens as well as good doctors of this country. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for the wonderful journey of timeline, success and achievement. We hope to emulate at least a part of that journey. Can I request the August gathering to give a standing ovation for Professor C.R. Ballal. Leadership is about lifting a person's vision to high heights, the rising of a person's performance to a higher standard, and the building of a personality beyond its normal limitations. Thus, we look upon to our able leader and Vice Chancellor, Dr. Lieutenant General M.D. Venkatesh, to show us the way forward and make a difference. I request the Honorable Vice Chancellor to address the gathering.
Good evening, everybody. After this mesmerizing talk from Dr. C.R. Ballal about the life and times of his journey from a medical student to the most accomplished, one of the most revered and highly respected surgeons, it would be a Herculean task to match his oratory along with his concern for the students and the future. He so very well expressed his best wishes to all of us in his talk. I'm privileged, humbled to be present here today when in this August gathering we have felicitated Dr. C.R. Ballal. As a surgeon, as an administrator, he perhaps had one of the most distinguished careers in Kasturba Medical College. And as the present Vice Chancellor, I would express our sincere gratitude to him for all the service that he has rendered to Kasturba Medical College, Mangalore. And I'm sure his blessings will continue to be showered on the Kasturba Medical College for its onward progress. I'm also extremely delighted and humbled to be present here today After 2 years, the College Day celebrations and the award ceremony are being held offline. So at the outset, let me congratulate all the award winners and the prize winners and their proud parents for their accomplishments, and I'm sure all the award winners and prize winners have got a very well-deserved career ahead of them. The last 2 years have been perhaps the most disruptive years in the history of the world, and India and Mangalore and KMC were no different. We had very tough times, both for the students, the faculty, the caregivers, the healthcare workers. All of us have had tough times, but we all stood up like a rock, faced this problem face on, and the service that we have rendered to the community has been exemplary. And I think let us take this opportunity to put our hands together for all those COVID warriors, doctors, nurses, paramedical staff, and all those people who directly or indirectly were responsible for this battle against COVID. Nevertheless, the 2 years also disrupted academics and clinical training of our students. It's time for us to catch up, and I'm sure we are already on the way to catch up. 2 batches of students had delayed admissions. In fact, by the end of the year, we'll have 2 batches of the same year, and we have been scratching our heads together how to, have 2 batches undergoing training at the same time. I'm very happy and proud to be present here today. Very happy to see and hear the report presented by our esteemed Dean, Dr. Unnikrishnan. The college has made rapid progress despite all the problems and difficulties. 69 years of existence, the college has grown tremendously today to be ranked amongst the best. On this day, at this time, it's important for us to remember our founder, Dr. T.M.A. Pai, our Chancellor, Dr. Ramdas Pai, and the next 3rd generation, Dr. Ranjan Pai, who have always had very, very different dreams. And today, Manipal is truly a global brand, recognized as a pioneer in education and healthcare. During my close to 2 years of my presence in the university, I've been coming to Mangalore quite frequently. In fact, I'm very fond of Mangalore and KMC. And each time I come, I go back a little refreshed. And each time I go back to Manipal, there is something that I can offer to Mangalore, which will continue. Over the last 2 years, we have made certain very important developments in Kasturba Medical College. One, perhaps all of us are proud of, all of you will be proud of, is our new central laboratory, both diagnostic and for academic purposes. I'm sure many of the students would have visited it, and very soon enough they'll be experiencing the grandeur and the quality of academics and laboratory services that are available in the new central laboratory. This definitely will be one of the features of Kasturba Medical College for times to come. Second important decision, which was already taken, perhaps was delayed a bit, was the consolidation of the Kasturba Medical College and Manipal College of Dental Sciences, Mangalore, into 2 distinct areas. For this, I think it has taken a forward move, and in this financial year, a lot of investments are going to be done, and by the middle of next year, or maybe latest by July, August, I am pressing all of them, the Pro-Chancellor, the Deans, and our project people, that they should complete all the works so that some of the difficulties faced by our students and the doctors having to rush from one place to another could be reduced, and we will have KMC consolidating closer to the hospital and our dental college consolidating to the lighthouse area. We have set aside a significant amount of money for this redistribution and redevelopment, and I'm very happy to say that this year the Mangalore campus has got close to 20 crores as the capital expenditure, out of which Dr. Dilip Nayak has set aside close to 9 crores for this project for consolidation of the medical college and the dental college. Other important thing that happened was, which Dr. Uni has mentioned, is this beginning of Manipal Durga Parameshwari Katil Hospital. I think if people have not visited it, I would request you all to take a look at that. I would rate that as perhaps the best rural hospital in the country. It's truly a fabulous collaborative effort between one individual, Dr. Mr. Suresh Rao, and his trust, Durga Parameshwari Katil the Temple Trust, and the Manipal Group. And I'm sure over the next few years, we'll be hearing a lot more about the Manipal Durga Sanjeevani Katil Hospital. The other thing which is going to happen gradually, but definitely would be the upgradation of the Atawar Hospital. Considerable amount of money is going to be spent in the infrastructure upgradation and the equipment upgradation over the next few years. And on this day, I would assure the Dean, the Pro-Chancellor, the Medical Superintendent of my unconditional support to the Mangalore campus for the continuous upgradation of the infrastructure and student support facilities for the Mangalore campus. I was particularly pleased to note the rapid strides in the research and developmental activity in Mangalore campus, especially with the KMC part. In fact, in the last 2 days, I've been speaking only about, 2 years, I've been speaking only about research development, student publication, faculty publication, grant writing, collaborative research. And I'm very happy to note the progress in the last 2 years. 365 publications with 47 of them in Q1 and Q2 journals is a record which we should be proud of. I would request all of you to put our hands together to our faculty and the students. And also significant amount of grants have been garnered by KMC Mangalore, because these are the two things which are going to have the greatest impact on your ranking, rating, and accreditation. And in today's world, unless you are ranked higher, unless you are accredited, you will be our community and the human life. At the end of my small talk, I wish to congratulate all the award winners and their proud parents, and wish Kasturba Medical College, its faculty, students, non-teaching staff, and all those who are associated with KMC Mangalore and its teaching hospital at Atawar, at Wenlock, and Lady Goshen, all the very best. May God bless you all. Wishing KMC greater glory in days, KMC Mangalore, greater glory in days to come. Thank you very much, and Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir, for those inspiring and thought-provoking words, and we thank you for your continued support. Excellence is never an accident. It is a result of high intention, sincere effort, skillful execution, and vision to see obstacles as opportunities. I can almost feel the palpable energy in this room as we eagerly await the most exciting segment today, the award ceremony. The eminent awards will be conferred upon our outstanding students and faculty in recognition for their notable achievements in the past year. We sincerely hope that all those who receive this year's honors continue to strive for perfection and inspire those around you to do the same. I warmly invite a dynamic, magnetic, and vibrant personality who can light up any room with a sunny disposition. I welcome Dr. B. Suresh Kumar Shetty, Associate Dean, KMC Mangalore, to read out the names of our finest undergraduate students who have made us proud. As the names are being read out, I request each of the awardees to kindly come onto the dais and receive the awards from the dignitaries. Keeping in mind that we are in a tight schedule and in order to be maximally economical with time, the awardees are directed to line up near and below the dais in an orderly fashion. Proceed swiftly to enter from the left of the dais and exit from the right of the stage and advance towards your seats. I beseech the audience to please wish them with a huge round of applause.
Good evening, one and all present here. I would now request Professor C.R. Ballal, distinguished alumni, and today's chief guest to please do the felicitation of meritorious student as I read out the names. I pray the students to come on stage in sequence and receive the honors. Dr. Arunachal Kumar Memorial Gold Medal, instituted by the Department of Anatomy, Kasturba Medical College, Mangalore, for standing first in anatomy at the first MBBS examination and standing first in anatomy at the first MBBS examination for the year 2019, awarded to Miss Shreya A. Bhatt. For the year 2020, awarded to Miss Janet K. Joy. For the year 2021, awarded to Miss Prithvi R. Standing first in physiology at the first MBBS examination for the year 2019, awarded to Miss Shreya A. Bhatt. For the year 2020, awarded to Miss Chakita. This year onwards, we are having one more silver medal, Best Outgoing Undergraduate securing highest marks in first MBBS Physiology University examination, silver medal by Department of Physiology in commemoration of 54th Epicon 2008, jointly awarded to Miss Prithvi R and Miss Kingshuk Daliwal. Professor Raghunandan Rao was the first head of the department. Professor Raghunandan Rao was the first head of the Department of Biochemistry, and he has shaped the department since the beginning of preclinical department in KMC Mangalore from 1977. He has nurtured many undergraduates and postgraduates during his 25 long years of association with KMC Mangalore. A gold medal is instituted by his son, Dr. Ashok Chandra Rao, and family for standing first in biochemistry at the first MBBS examination and standing first in biochemistry at first MBBS examination. Today we acknowledge the presence of his son, Dr. Ashok Chandra Rao, who himself was the best outgoing student of 1984 KMC Mangalore, and Dr. Shantala Rao, his wife. Thank you, sir and madam. For the year 2019, awarded to Miss Shreya A. Bhatt. year 2020, awarded to Miss Ashima Palia. For the year 2021, awarded to Miss Kingshuk Daliwa. Standing first in total marks at the first MBBS examination for the year 2019, awarded to Miss Shreya A. Bhatt. For the year 2020, jointly awarded to Miss Chakita and Miss Janet K. Joy. For the year 2021, awarded to Miss Prithvi R. Thank you, sir, for doing the honors. I would now request Lieutenant General Dr. M.D. Venkatesh, Vice Chancellor MAHE, Manipal, to please do the felicitation of meritorious students as I read out the names. Mangalore Conference Prize for the Best Outgoing Student in Pharmacology and standing first in Pharmacology at the second MBBS examination jointly for the year 2019, jointly awarded to Miss Samhita and Miss Malvika Gupta. For the year 2020, jointly awarded to Miss Shreya A. Bhatt, Miss Vishu Manchanda and Mr. Srivasta Acharya B. For the year 2021, awarded to Miss Aparna Mohan K. Nantakumar Memorial Prize for the Best Student in Pathology and standing first in Pathology at the second MBBS examination for the year 2019, jointly awarded to Miss Ashmita Rastogi, Miss Simran Jaglan and Miss Malvika Gupta. For the year 2020, awarded to Miss Unnati Naik. For the year 2021, awarded to Miss Aparna Mohan K. Standing first in microbiology at the second MBBS examination for the year 2019, jointly awarded to Miss Sanchia Andrea Madata, Miss Samhita D. and Miss Asmita Rastogi. For the year 2020, awarded to Miss Shreya R. For the year 2021, awarded to Miss Aparna Mohan K. Dr. Anand Menon Memorial Prize for the Best Student in Forensic Medicine of the Kasturba Medical College, Mangalore, and standing first in Forensic Medicine at the second MBBS examination for the year 2019, awarded to Miss Samhita D. For the year 2020, awarded to Miss Shreya A. Bhatt. Standing first in total marks at the second MBBS examination for the year 2019, awarded to Miss Samhita D. For the year 2020, awarded to Miss Shreya R. For the year 2021, awarded to Miss Aparna Mohan K. Thank you, sir, for doing the honors. I would now request Dr. Dilip G. Nayak, Pro Vice Chancellor, Mangalore Campus, MAHE, Manipal, to please do the felicitation of meritorious students as I read out the names. The Department of Community Medicine Gold Medal for standing first in Community Medicine at the first MBBS Part 1 examination and standing first in Community Medicine at the first final MBBS Part 1 examination for the year 2019, awarded to Miss Meghna Tiwari. For the year 2020, awarded to Miss Mridul Mani Tripathi. For the year 2021, awarded to Miss Lauleen Power. Standing first in ophthalmology at the final MBBS Part 1 examination for the year 2019, awarded to Miss Pooja Satish Nambiar. For the year 2020, awarded to Miss Asmita Rastogi. For the year 2021, awarded to Miss Vishu Manchanda. Standing first in ENT at the final MBBS Part 1 examination for the year 2019, awarded to Miss Shreyanshi Gupta. For the year 2020, awarded to Miss Asmita Rastogi. For the year 2021, awarded to Miss Shreya R. Standing first in total marks at the final MBBS Part 1 examination for the year 2019, awarded to Miss Vaishnavi Ballal. For the year 2020, awarded to Miss Asmita Rastogi. For the year 2021, awarded to Miss Loveleen Power. Thank you, sir, for doing the honor. I would now request Lieutenant General Dr. M.D. Venkatesh, Vice Chancellor MAHE Manipal, to please do the felicitation of meritorious students as I read out the names. Standing first in medicine at the final MBBS Part 2 examination for the year 2021, awarded to Miss Meghna Tiwari. Standing first in surgery at the final MBBS Part 2 examination, Miss Meghna Tiwari. The Bhagyamma Purushottama Prize for standing first in obstetrics and gynecology examination for good conduct and continuous attendance in the college and for passing the final MBBS Part 2 examination at the first attempt, securing highest marks in obstetrics and gynecology, endowed by Dr. T.A. Purushottama of Chikkaballapur, awarded to Miss Mahima Advait Ramakrishnan. Dr. B.R. Krishnamurthy Rao and P.N. Krishnamurthy Prize for standing first in pediatrics at the final MBBS Part 2 examination and standing first in pediatrics in final MBBS Part 2 examination for awarded to Miss Aishwarya A. Matthew. Standing first in total marks at the final MBBS Part 2 examination for the year 2021, awarded to Miss Meghna Tiwari. Competitive examination in leprosy 11th annual conference of IADV and L, prize for the year 2021, awarded to Mr. Adarsh S. Dr. Gurucharan Memorial Euro Quiz conducted for the final year MBBS students for the year 2021, endowed by the Department of Urology, Kasturba Medical College, Mangalore, awarded to 3 toppers: Miss Shreya R, Mr. Srivasa Achar B, Mr. Saurav V. Second best outgoing student in BPT, Kasturba Medical College, Mangalore, T.M.A. Memorial Silver Medal for the year 2021, awarded to Miss Podwal Drisha Praveen. Best outgoing student in BPT, Kasturba Medical College, Mangalore, T.M.A. Memorial Gold Medal for the year 2021, and Best Outgoing Student in BPT, Kasturba Medical College, Mangalore for the year 2021, awarded to Miss Vaibhavi Lakarni. Best Outgoing Student in Audiology, Kasturba Medical College, Mangalore for the year 2021, awarded to Miss S. Drishti. Best Outgoing Student in Speech Language Pathology, Kasturba Medical College, Mangalore for the year 2021, awarded to Miss Shetty Mahima Jayaram. Second Best Outgoing Student in MBBS, Kasturba Medical College, Mangalore for the year 2021, Dr. K.P. Ganeshan Memorial Prize, awarded to Dr. Meghna Tiwari. Late Mrs. Muktaban Chandrana Prize, endowed by her husband, sons, daughters, for the best outgoing lady medical graduate, Dr. Vaishnavi Ballal. Dr. G.D. Welliot Memorial Prize endowed by the children of late Dr. G.D. Welliot, former principal, former professor and head of the Department of Pathology, Kasturba Medical College, Mangalore, for the best outgoing student of MBBS Kasturba Medical College, Dr. Vaishnavi Ballal. Thank you, sir, for doing the honors. Now we present the list of merit certificate holders for coming in the top 5% of the class with a distinction. I would now request Dr. Dilip G. Nayak, Pro Vice Chancellor, Mangalore Campus, MAHE, Manipal, to award the Certificate of Merit for excellent academic performance in the first MBBS examination held during the year 2019. I would request a student to come on stage in sequence and receive the honors. Miss Shreya A. Bhatt, Miss Unnati Nayak, Miss Shreya R, Miss Ishita Jori, Mr. Srivasta Achar B, Miss Vishnu Manchanda, Miss Lauleen Power, Miss Anjali Bal, Mr. Rishikesh Vijay Kadam, Miss Vrishali KS, Miss Josna, Miss Lakshmi Venela Chaudhary Kaza, for the year 2020, Miss Chakita, Miss Janet K. Joy, Miss Ashima Palia, Mr. Aryaman Kanwar, Miss Aparna Mohan K, Mr. Krishna, Miss Arkul Pallavi Shanai, Miss Ritika Bhatia, Miss Abhavya Jha, Miss Sanmayi S, Miss Kushi Tejas Trivedi, Miss Priyal Goyal, Miss Neha M. Iyer. For the year 2021, Miss Prithvi R, Miss Kingshuk Daliwal, Mr. Vishwajit M. Bhatt, For the year 2021, Miss Prithvi R. Miss Kingshuk Daliwal, Mr. Vishwajit M. Bhatt, Miss Chaitra Sheth C, Miss Rashmi Raghavendra Bhatt, Mr. Tejas Arya, Miss Jocelyn Tankam Joseph, Miss Arushi Tuteja, Miss Debasmita Mohanty, Miss Aditi Singhal, Mr. Abhishek Bhatt GK, Mr. Daya Sagar Reddy CS, Miss Ishita Gupta, Miss Vidat Haidar. Thank you, sir, for doing the honors. I would now request Dr. M. Venkatrai Prabhu, Pro Vice Chancellor, Health Science, MAHE, Manipal, to please do the felicitation of meritorious students as I read out the names. Certificate of Merit for Second MBBS held during the year 2019. Miss Samhita D. Miss Asmita Rastogi. Miss Malvika Gupta. Miss Shivani. Miss Samiha Saad. Miss Sanchia Andrea Madata. Mr. Mrudul Mani Tripathi. Miss Shruti Sundar. Mr. Vaibhav Bajaj. Miss Divya Subramaniam. Miss Sumaya Mohammad Parvez Mullah. And Miss Jesneha. For the year 2020, awarded to Miss Shreya R. Miss Shreya A. Bhatt. Miss Vishnu Manchanda. Mr. Srivasta Achar B. Miss Unnati Naik. Miss Shalu Kumari. Miss Shejal Misra. Miss Lauleen Pawa. Miss Brishali K.S. Miss Isha L. Shetty. Miss Ruchira Ravindra Khale. Miss Josna. Miss Ishita Jory. For the year 2021, Miss Aparna Mohan K. Mr. Krishna. Miss Janet K. Joy. Miss Neha M. Iyer, Miss Meera B.N., Miss Ashima Palia, Miss Akshata UG, Mr. Aryaman Kanwar, Miss Aisha Thaizin, Miss Abovia Jha, Miss Srinidhi, Miss Vaishnavi P, Mr. Debjyoti Padya. Thank you, sir, for doing the honors. I would now request Dr. B. Unnikrishnan, Dean, KMC, Mangalore, to please do the felicitation of meritorious students. Certificate of Merit for the final MBBS Part 1 examination, year 2019, Ms. Vaishnavi Ballar, Ms. Shreyanshi Gupta, Ms. Meghna Tiwari, Ms. Mahima Advait Ramakrishnan, Ms. Pooja Satish Nambiar, Ms. M. Archana Rao, Mr. Satkar U. Shetty, Mr. Ashutosh Kesi, Mr. Venkata Varadaraya Naidu Bongarala, Mr. Abhishek Balaji R, Miss Akshita Goyal, Miss B. Suma, Miss Deepa S, Miss Prerna Barik, Miss P. Chandana. For the year 2020, Miss Asmita Rastogi, Mr. Mridul Mani Tripathi, Miss Shivani MD, Miss Samhita D, Miss Shrutika Singh, Miss Shruti Sundar, Miss Nivedita Amarnath, Miss Samiha Saad, Mr. Arush Parik, Mr. Arjun P. Nambiar, Mr. Vaibhav Bajaj, Miss Namrata A, Miss Malavika Gupta. For the year 2021, Miss Loveleen Power, Miss Shreya R, Miss Vishnu Manchanda, Miss Ishita Jori, Miss Shreya A. Bhatt, Mr. Harun Aslam, Miss Treja P.S., Miss Ruchira Ravindra Kale, Miss Shreya Yadav, Mr. Vikas Kumar, Miss Vrishali K.S., Miss Isha L. Shetty. For the year 2021, Miss Meghna Tiwari, Miss Mahima Advait Ramakrishnan, Mr. Shah Devik Rupesh Kumar, Mr. Venkata Varadaraya Naidu Bongarala, Ms. Vaishnavi Ballal, Ms. Adele Lorraine D'Souza, Mr. H.R. Advait, Ms. Sandipundi Bhavya, Ms. B. Suma, Ms. Prerna Barekh, and Ms. Nurella Kareem Khan. Thank you, sir, for doing the honors.
Thank you, Dr. Suresh Shetty, and thank you, sirs. I'm greatly pleased to welcome onto the stage Dr. Pramod Kumar, the Associate Dean of KMC Mangalore, and we are honored to have him read out the list of our talented postgraduates, the postgraduates prize list.
Good evening, all. It's my privilege to invite our esteemed Vice Chancellor, Lieutenant General Dr. M.D. Venkatesh, to present the awards to postgraduates who have excelled during their course. Best Outgoing Postgraduate Student in MSc Medical Biochemistry, Kasturba Medical College, Mangalore for the year 2021, awarded to Ms. Asru Nisa. Best Outgoing Postgraduate Student in MSc Medical Pharmacology, Kasturba Medical College, Mangalore for the year 2021, awarded to Ms. Subi Matthew. Dr. Sheetal Ullal, Head of the Department, will accept the award. Silver Medal in commemoration of 31st IAMM National Conference Microcon 2007 for the Best Outgoing Postgraduate Student in MSc Medical Microbiology for the year 2021, Kasturba Medical College, Mangalore, awarded to Ms. Silla Varghese Thomas. Late Shri B.D. Madhav Baliga and late Srimati B. Sharada Baliga Memorial Prize, endowed by their daughter, Dr. Mukta R. Pai, former professor and head of the Department of Pathology, Kasturba Medical College, Mangalore, for the Best Outgoing Postgraduate Student in MD Pathology, Kasturba Medical College, Mangalore, for the year 2021, awarded to Dr. Aditi Dixit. I also acknowledge the presence of Dr. Mukhtar Pai in the audience. Late Dr. Vivek Raj Malli and Department of Anesthesiology, KMC Mangalore, Gold Medal for the Best Outgoing Postgraduate Student in Diploma in Anesthesiology for the year 2021, awarded to Dr. Sanjana Saxena. Not you. Late Dr. Vivek Raj Malli and Department of Anesthesiology, KMC Mangalore, Gold Medal for the Best Outgoing Postgraduate Student in MD Anesthesiology for the year 2021, awarded to Dr. Harshini K. Dr. B. R. Ramarao and Dr. P. N. Krishnamurthy, Gold Medal for the Best Outgoing Postgraduate Student in MD Pediatrics for the year 2021, awarded to Dr. Zahabia Nalwala. Late Dr. S.V. Ansari Memorial Silver Medal, endowed for the first time this year by Dr. Sabita Ansari for the second Best Outgoing Postgraduate Student in MD Pediatrics, endowed for the first time, awarded to Dr. Sharath M. Manya. Both late Dr. Ansari and Dr. Sabita Ansari were our alumni. Dr. Ansari was from, I think, the 1981 batch. And Dr. Sabita, who is in the audience, who's come to witness this, she's over there. Thank you, Dr. Sabita, for the endowment. Prafulla S. Hegde Memorial Endowment Gold Medal instituted by Dr. H.S. Ballal, Pro-Chancellor, MAHE, Manipal, for the Best Outgoing Postgraduate Student in MD Radio Diagnosis for the year 2021, awarded to Dr. Fatima Reiza. Dr. Santosh Rai, Head of Department, will accept the award on her behalf. Former Head of Department of Orthopedics, late Professor M. Sudhakar Shetty Gold Medal for the best outgoing postgraduate student in MS Orthopedics, instituted for the first time by his wife Mrs. Amrita Kala Shetty and family for the year 2021 is awarded to Dr. Thakkar Samarth Ajay. Best outgoing postgraduate student in MD, Dermatology, Venerology and Leprosy, Gold Medal, Kasturba Medical College, Mangalore 2021, awarded to Dr. H. Anchita. Best outgoing postgraduate student in MS General Surgery, Kasturba Medical College, Mangalore, Dr. T.M.A. Pai Gold Medal for the year 2021, awarded to Dr. Akshay Kanta. Dr. K.P. Ganeshan, Dr. B.M. Hegde and Dr. Prabhakar Rao, Silver Medal for the Best Outgoing Postgraduate Student in MD General Medicine for the year 2021, awarded to Dr. R.S. Shushmita Upadhyaya. Mangalore Obstetrics and Gynecology Society Prize for the Best Outgoing MS Postgraduate for the year 2021, awarded to Dr. Suhani Chandra. Borakatte Lakshmi Devi Hegde Memorial Award, endowed by Sri Annappa Hegde, Mangalore, for the Best Outgoing Postgraduate Student in MS Otorhinolaryngology for the year 2021, awarded to Dr. Sanchit Bajpai. Rotary Club of Udupi Manipal Silver Jubilee Commemoration Prize for the Best Outgoing Postgraduate Student in MS Ophthalmology of Mangalore for the year 2021, awarded to Dr. Karthika R. Chandran. Best Outgoing Postgraduate Student in Masters in Audiology, Speech Language Pathology, Kasturba Medical College, Mangalore for 2021, Miss Naval Palakkal Satar. Competitive examination for MS General Surgery postgraduates for the year 2021, Dr. Vivekananda Prabhu Memorial Prize Gold Medal, endowed by the Department of Surgery, Kasturba Medical College, Mangalore, awarded to Dr. Chaudhary Rajat Ravindra Kumar. Competitive examination for MS General Surgery postgraduates for the year 2021, Dr. Arur Bhaskar Rao Memorial Prize for General Surgery postgraduates, endowed by the alumni colleagues and Department of Urology, Kasturba Medical College, Mangalore, awarded to Dr. Nashi Semita from AJ Institute of Medical Sciences, Kunchikan, Mangalore. Competitive examination in medicine, thoracic medicine and cardiology, Varvadi Shankar Hegde and Hirebettu Timmappa Hegde Memorial Prize for the year 2021, endowed by Professor B.M. Hegde, former Vice Chancellor, MAHE, Manipal, awarded to Dr. Smith Nath. Dr. Sita Mahalakshmi Memorial Postgraduate Quiz Competition for MD General Medicine, postgraduates for the year 2021, instituted by Department of Medicine and postgraduate alumni of the Department of Medicine, Kasturba Medical College, awarded to Dr. Jairam S. and Dr. Rohan Jacob. Dr. Archit will be receiving the prize on their behalf. Dr. Priyanka V. Vasist and Dr. Vijay Balaji are runners-up from MS Ramaya Medical College, Bangalore. All these prizes will be taken. Competitive examination in obstetrics and gynecology for MS postgraduates, Saubhagyavati Late Radha Bai Memorial Prize for the year 2021, endowed by Sri Ramchandra Pai and family, Shimoga, awarded to Dr. Nandkarni Shweta Shivanand. Thank you, sir, for presenting the awards, and congratulations to all the awardees.
Thank you, sirs, for doing the honor. In order to recognize budding researchers who have made substantial contributions to the field of scientific research, we will now be bestowing the Flagship Praise Awards, which stands for Policy of Publication and Research Award Incentive for Students to Excel. I'm pleased to invite one of our most prolific researchers of our institute, Dr. Chakrapani, Director of Research, KMC Mangalore, to read the names of the awardees.
Good evening. Praise, which is a unique program of MAHE to encourage and recognize excellence in student research, is a very unique program of MAHE, and I request Lieutenant General Dr. M.D. Venkatesh, Vice Chancellor MAHE Manipal, to present the awards. PhD, Putta Suman Kumar. Dr. Challapalli Srinivas will receive on behalf of Suman Kumar. Yella Durga Rao. Dr. Purnima Manjarekar will receive on his behalf. Rupesh Jagannath Pujari for 2020 and 2021. Khyati Bharadwaj for 2021. Next, we move on to postgraduate section. Dr. Fatima Raiza for the year 2020. Dr. Fatima. Dr. Ritik Roshan for the year 2020. Dr. Samia Mujib for the year 2021. Undergraduates. Kaustubh Hegde for the year 2020. K. Nishant Bhatt for the year 2020. Dr. Varun Holla for the year 2020. Sanjana Basavanahalli Lokesha 2021. Spurti V 2021. Hitesh Krishna Malavat for the year 2021. Ankita Prem for the year 2020. Noorel Karim Khan for the year 2020. Gauri Tukral for the year 2020. Kritika Gupta for the year 2019. Mrigank Goyal for the year 2020. Shaji Mohan Priya Varsha for the year 2020. Archit Gupta for the year 2020. Tanya Singh for the year 2020. Matthew Anthony Manoj for the year 2020 and year 2021. Divya Subramanian for the year 2021. Dhruv Tuteja for the year 2021. Srijita Saha for the year 2021. Debashruti Chakrabarti for the year 2021. Kritika Kamath for the year 2020 and 2021. Akshiti Kaushik for the year 2020. Kshitij Singhal for the year 2021. Garima Prakash for the year 2021. Mridula Bhargav HS for the year 2020. And Cheruvilil Joy for the year 2020.
Thank you, sir. In order to recognize the achievements of the faculty who have strived for unmatched perfection in the past year, we will now have the presentation of awards to the outstanding faculty who have published books and chapters in books in the past year. I request Dr. Chakrapani, Director of Research, KMC Mangalore, to read out the names of the faculty who have published in the past year.
I request Dr. Dilip G. Nayak, Pro Vice Chancellor, Mangalore Campus, MAHE, to present the Faculty Books Awards. Dr. B. Suresh Kumar Shetty, Associate Dean and Professor of Forensic Medicine. Dr. Priya Ballal K, Professor and HOD, Department of OBG. Dr. Pratik Rastogi, Professor and Head, Department of Forensic Medicine. Dr. Archit Bolur, Additional Professor, Department of General Medicine. Dr. Anupama Suresh Y, Professor, Department of OBG. Dr. B. Sitaram Rao, Professor, Department of Orthopedics. Dr. Sheetal Raj M, Associate Professor, Department of General Medicine. Dr. B. V. Murali Manju, Associate Professor, Department of Anatomy. Dr. Sudhin Karupalli, Associate Professor, Department of Audiology and Speech Language Pathology. Dr. Aditi Shetty, Associate Professor, Department of OBG. Dr. Pramila M.D., Associate Professor, Department of Anatomy. Dr. Suresh Y.V., Professor, Department of Anesthesiology. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sirs, for doing the honor. Research is creating new knowledge. We will now honor our faculty who has dedicatedly committed their time and efforts to further the just cause of medical knowledge. I humbly request the Honorable Dr. Pramod Kumar, Associate Dean, KMC Mangalore, to read out the names of the faculty who have contributed significantly towards advancement of medical research.
So I am back now with the list of faculty awardees for outstanding contribution to medical literature. Before that, I would like to say research is the backbone of any institution, and Kasturba Medical College, Mangalore is doing everything possible to achieve the goal set by the university. Our faculty research is like a strong support to the backbone, and at the top of this spine is a researcher par excellence who in the period 2018 to 2021, that is 3 years, holds the top position in research publication not just in the college but in our university. In this period of 3 years, he has over 100 publications and nearly 4,000 citations just in 3 years. He is none other than our Dean, Dr. B. Unnikrishnan. I request our beloved Vice Chancellor, Lieutenant General Dr. M.D. Venkatesh to present the award for him, starting with him. To be followed by Dr. Shrikala Baliga, Associate Dean and Professor Microbiology. Dr. Rekha Tapar, Professor Head, Department of Community Medicine. Dr. Archit Bolur, Additional Professor, Department of General Medicine. Dr. Prasanna Mitra, Additional Professor, Department of Community Medicine. Dr. Jagdish Rao, PP, Associate Professor, Department of Forensic Medicine. Dr. Ramesh Holla, Associate Professor, Department of Community Medicine. Dr. Nitin Kumar, Associate Professor, Department of Community Medicine. Dr. Arivuday Nambi, P, Associate Professor, Department of Audiology and SLP. Dr. Gagan Bajaj, Associate Professor, Department of Audiology and SLP. The Young Researcher Award 2021 for faculty is awarded to Dr. Dhanashree R. Gunjavate, Assistant Professor, Senior Scale, Department of Audiology, Speech Language Pathology. And finally, the prestigious Dr. T.M.A. Pai Gold Medal for Outstanding Research 2021 goes to Dr. Stephen Rajan Samuel, Assistant Professor, Senior Scale. The award will be received by Head of the Department, Dr. Charu Ippan, on his behalf, as he is pursuing higher education in US. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, sirs, for doing the honors. Better than 1,000 days of diligent study is one day with a great teacher. For those who have a calling in teaching young minds, audiovisual aids provide an efficient interface for communicating thoughts into words. Proficiency in using audiovisual aids cannot be learned from a book. It is a skill that comes only with practice. Today, we will be awarding the faculty who have painstakingly prepared expert audiovisual aids to facilitate classroom teaching. I am pleased to call upon a galvanizing person who motivates and stimulates creative thinking and expression. I request Dr. Anandar, Convener, Medical Education Unit, KMC Mangalore, to read out the names of the awardees.
It's my pleasure to announce the winners of the Best Audiovisual Material for Self-Learning. I request our Honorable Pro Vice Chancellor, Health Sciences, MAHE Manipal, Dr. M. Venkatrai Prabhu, to kindly do the honors. The first prize goes to Dr. Santosh Rai PV, Professor and Head, Department of Radio Diagnosis. The self-learning material was on pigtail catheter drainage aspirations. The second prize goes to Dr. Nayantara Arun Kumar, Associate Professor, Department of Physiology, for the self-learning material on thyroid gland. Congratulations to the winners. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Just as the seeds nurtured by the wise old tree fall away far from the tree but begin to bloom and blossom in new soil, carrying the same essence nevertheless, our alumni are dispersed unto the ends of the world, yet carry the same ethos and values of their alma mater. They have made us proud, and we recognize their contribution towards medicine and their communities.
We invite Dr. Kiran Baliga, the Associate Director of Alumni Relations, to read out the names of the distinguished alumni.
Good evening, everyone. I am pleased to announce the list of the Distinguished Alumni Awards for the year 2021. I request Dr. M. Venkatrai Prabhu, Pro VC MAHE, to do the honors. Dr. Pavan Chandra Shetty H, Associate Professor, Department of Forensic Medicine. Dr. Sheetal Raj M, Associate Professor, Department of General Medicine. Dr. Rajesh Bhatt U, Associate Professor, Department of Cardiology. Dr. Suresh Shanai, Associate Professor, Department of Gastroenterology. Dr. Julie Sia Miskit, Associate Professor, Department of Anesthesiology. Mrs. Akshata Nayak M, Assistant Professor, Selection Grade, Department of Physiotherapy. Dr. Kunal, Associate Professor, Department of Physiology. Dr. Pooja K.S., Additional Professor, Department of Pathology. Dr. Hanil Larson D'Souza, Associate Professor, Department of Forensic Medicine. Dr. Ajay N. Bhatt M, Associate Professor, Department of General Medicine. Dr. Ravi Kiran S. R, Professor and Head, Department of Pediatrics. Dr. Suprasanna, Associate Professor, Department of Radiodiagnosis. Dr. Saurjya Banerjee, Associate Professor, Department of Radiation Oncology. Dr. Kiran Baliga, Associate Professor, Department of Pediatrics.
Thank you, sir. Champions are made by the passion and persistence. They demonstrate a willingness to learn from failures and have the grit and resilience to move ahead. They have the will to win. Their victorious performance is demonstration of their indomitable spirit. We are overjoyed to announce the presentation of the best outgoing student of Final MBBS 2021 and commend them on the historic win. We proudly invite our beloved Dean, Dr. B. Unikrishnan, to announce the award for the best outgoing student. Today is a very special day for a close-knit family in this room. It is rewarding when the younger generation follow in the footsteps of their elders and carry on their legacy forward. It is truly a remarkable incident when the person who bestows the award and the awardee share a special relationship, that of a grandparent and grandchild, as is unfolding today. It fills my heart with pride on this momentous day to call upon our distinguished chief guest, Dr. C.R. Ballal, to present the award.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am happy to announce the best outgoing student of Final MBBS 2021 exam. 1994 batch endowment gold medal. The blue ribbon of the college, Dr. Vaishnavi Ballal. Congratulations.
I'm positive that the dear audience would love to hear from our prized valedictory student. It is my utmost pleasure to invite Dr. Vaishnavi Ballal to raise the toast and addresses. The toast to the institution by the best outgoing student of Final MBBS 2021, Dr. Vaishnavi Ballal.
Good evening, everyone. To all the respected dignitaries on the dais and the galaxy of wonderful people out here in the audience. It feels absolutely surreal, to be honest. This moment has probably been something I've been dreaming about for quite a few years now. But trust me when I tell you this, when the universe decides to be kind enough and align perfectly so that you get to live your dream, that feeling is beyond anything you could have possibly ever imagined. I'd like to thank the institution for bestowing upon me this impeccable honor. It feels absolutely magical. Thank you very much. There is a list of people that I ought to thank who are instrumental for whatever I have been able to achieve today. First and foremost, my wonderful parents, who have been the strongest pillars of support and the wind beneath my wings whenever I have dared to dream and soar high into the skies. Thank you very much. To the rest of my family who have taken the time to be here with me today, and to all those who couldn't make it today due to unforeseen circumstances, I love you all from the bottom of my heart, and thank you very much. To my respected teachers, for everything that you have taught all of us, right from inside the classroom and far more beyond the classroom as well, thank you very much from the bottom of my heart. I believe that every doctor is what your patients make of you. My deepest thanks to every single patient who I have had the privilege to aid in the treatment at least a little bit. Thank you for making me what I am today. To all my co-awardees, you guys were absolutely amazing. You guys deserve this probably just as much as I do, maybe even more. I guess it's just Lady Luck decided to be a little kind to me and shower some good luck on my way. That's all. Congratulations to all you guys. I know that the amount of responsibility that this award endures is immense, and I sincerely hope I shall be able to live up to all the expectations. The most important lesson I've learned over the past 5.5 years is that life is measured by the value you are able to add to someone else's life. Life is made of a series of moments, and these are absolutely fleeting. And we were all painfully reminded of this fact a couple of weeks ago when we lost our dear classmate, Dr. Srihari. His untimely demise just proved to us that moments become memories before you know how, which is why it becomes important to spend every moment of your life trying to do something constructive and trying to make a difference. I'd like to conclude by leaving you all something to ponder upon. I actually debated if this was the right stage to address this issue, but then I thought, why not? The line that we are often greeted with, primum non nocere, which basically means first do no harm. How wonderful it would be if we were in a world where this extended not just to those under our care, but also to those at our mercy. What am I talking about? I'm sure all of you are a little confused. Well, my mind goes back to my first year when I was greeted by scores of tiny little mice and rabbits in cages, all for us to ethically experiment upon. I am of the firm belief that in this era of science and technology right at our fingertips, archaic practices like animal experimentation ought to be shown the door. Why am I telling this at this juncture? Because at every step forward, henceforth, we are presented with a choice. And like a very famous fictional character once said, it is our choices that decide what we truly are, more than our abilities. And I sincerely hope that when we are presented with the choice to do something easy or something that is right, I trust and pray that we make the right choice always. Thank you for being a wonderful audience, and thank you for a patient hearing. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Vaishnavi, for those precious words. We wish you all the very best for all your future endeavors. As we draw towards the conclusion of this memorable event, it is only befitting that we express gratitude to everyone who helped to pull together this excellent program. We warmly invite Dr. Shrikala Baliga, Associate Dean, KMC Mangalore, to deliver the vote of thanks.
Dear Dr. C.R. Ballal, Vice Chancellor, Dr. Lieutenant General M.D. Venkatesh, Pro Vice Chancellors, Dr. Dilip G. Naik, Dr. M. Venkatraya Prabhu, Dean Dr. B. Unnikrishnan, Associate Deans, Dr. Suresh Shetty, Dr. Pramod, dignitaries in the august audience, my dear students and colleagues. I deem it a privilege to propose the vote of thanks for the College Day and award ceremony of Kasturba Medical College, Mangalore today. At the outset, my heartfelt thanks to our esteemed chief guest, Dr. C.R. Ballal, for accepting our invitation. Sir, it is indeed an honor for all of us. I extend a big thank you to Dr. H.S. Ballal and Dr. P.L.N.G. Rao in absentia, who have been a pillar of support and encouragement to KMC Mangalore. Thank you, Vice Chancellor Sir, for gracing the occasion today and for always inspiring us to achieve higher milestones and also encouraging us in all our endeavors. Thank you, Dr. Dilip Naik, for Pro Vice Chancellor MAHE, Mangalore campus, for helping us run the campus smoothly and for being with us here today. My heartfelt thanks to Pro Vice Chancellor, Health Sciences, Dr. M. Venkatraya Prabhu, former Dean, KMC Mangalore, for not only being here, but for also guiding us through the smooth conduct of the College Day function. Sir has put his pulse on the College Day and award ceremony in spite of his busy schedule. We appreciate your time and efforts, sir. I thank Dr. Sharath Rao, Dean, KMC Manipal, Dr. Krishnananda Prabhu, Associate Dean, KMC Manipal, and Dr. Avinash Shetty, Medical Superintendent, Kasturba Hospital, Manipal, for your gracious presence here today. I also thank Dr. V. Surendra Shetty, former Pro Vice Chancellor MAHE, for being with us here today. Thank you, Dean Dr. Unnikrishnan and my fellow Associate Deans, Dr. Suresh Kumar Shetty and Dr. Pramod Kumar, without whose kind support and coordination, this College Day function would not have been possible. We appreciate the efforts of the various committee members and the section heads. Each one of them has worked tirelessly for the conduct of this function. My gratitude to the deans of other institutes, former principals, former senior faculty, heads of department, all faculty, teaching as well as non-teaching, for attending the College Day function and partaking in the Awards Day ceremony. I appreciate the efforts of the Student Council batches of 2021-22 and 2022-23 and the student volunteers and interns who have helped us in conduct of this function today. We are grateful to SHADS for providing the live streaming services and Ocean Pearl for the sumptuous spread and their services. I would also express gratitude to the press and electronic media for coverage of this program. And last but not the least, my gratefulness to the Masters of Ceremonies, Dr. Santosh Rai and Dr. Cheryl Joshua, who have so nicely steered today's program. The root of all goodness lie in the soil of appreciation, said the Dalai Lama. Finally, I appreciate and acknowledge the efforts of all the prize winners and their presence here today. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you, Madam, for aptly expressing our thoughts into words. We have received messages and greetings from dignitaries from various institutions. I shall quickly mention a few of them here. Dr. D. Virendra Hegde, the Dharmadhikari of Sri Kshetra Dharmasthala, sends his best wishes. Colonel B. Prakash Chandra, Director General Services, MAHE Manipal. Dr. Judith Norona, the Dean of MCon Manipal. Dr. D. Shrikant Rao, Director Planning and Monitoring, MAHE Manipal, send their best wishes. Today's College Day and Award ceremony has been a landmark milestone in the history of Kasturba Medical College, as this important event was held successfully after a long break due to the pandemic. We commemorate the events of the past year and contemplate on the way ahead with renewed hope. I, Dr. Santosh Rai,
And I, Dr. Cheryl Joshua, express our heartfelt gratitude at being given this year's honor to host this memorable event. We are grateful that we could solicit your cooperation and patient hearing. Let us now all rise for the national anthem.
Our dignitaries will be taking their leave. We request the audience to kindly permit them to leave first and not obstruct the exit points. We are pleased to announce an extravagant dinner. Dinner arrangements have been made in the adjacent exhibition hall. Till we meet again, thank you and Godspeed. Have a wonderful evening, ladies and gentlemen.